Hey everybody, hello, how are you all doing? The good evening, this is your good guy here, Prince Onyx, and I am here to deliver the long-awaited Empire review for episode 8, Lyon'S Roar, from season 1. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. Whew. Okay, pause. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. I almost did not want to do this review. Listen, long story short, something happened behind the scenes, which I will not be discussing on here or on any of my social media outlets because I'm not that type of guy. Just know some stuff had happened and it threw me off. Not so it didn't hurt my feelings because I'm not that sensitive, but it threw me off and it just threw me for a loop and it made me feel some type of way, you know. All I'm going to say is words mean things. But anyway, that's another story. Not for this time, not for the next day, not for next month, next week, not even for next year. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. I just had to get that off my chest in case, you know, if it ever looks like in this review that I'm like my mood is sort of off, I was just giving y'all the precursor just to know why. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's get into it, shall we? Got my notes right here. I am excited. I was waiting for this episode since like last week. Well, the week before last when they had showed it in the previews. That's why sometimes with Empire, when they show you clips in the previews for the next episode, you be like, alright, part of this we gonna see, part of this we not gonna see. It's like, come on now. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's get into it. God damn. So it starts off with a flashback of the Lyon'S in court the day the Cookie is sentenced. Basically, you know, they let her know that the verdict is out and that, you know, if she is, you know, guilty, if they find her guilty, which they of course did, that she would not be able to say goodbye to her family, that while they were in the hallway, she might as well say goodbye to them right now, say her last, you know, get her last hugs and kisses from them, and say, I'm recording right now. I will give it to her later. Anyway, sorry about that. So yeah, she pretty much let them know, you know, that she loves them and just, you know, God got us and all that good stuff. And, you know, hey, it is what we know what happened from that. So then we go to the present where Cookie is in the bed after her and Lucius had got it on last episode, and you know, she told him, oh yeah, you still got it, old head, and you know, she pretty much let him know that he's the only man that she ever loved and the only man that she's ever been with. And, you know, he was like, I've been with a lot of women, and every time I was with them, I was always looking for you in them. And she was just like, well, you need to dump the fake-ass Holly Berry. And she just let him know, if you want to get Cookie's nookie, that you got to ditch the bitch. I love how they do that with the lines. Like, you know, certain things they just, you know, make rhyme or whatever. So I like how she said that. And she just let him know what was up. We then see Hakeem at a church, specifically, God, I cannot say that word right. Specifically, he is at a Catholic church and he is kneeling down in the front, and he is praying to God, praying to Jesus for a cure for his father. And you know, he just don't want him to die. He just, you know, he's praying for a cure or somehow that Lucius can fight this. He just don't want to die. He just don't want his father to die. Jamal meets him there, and he was just like, you know, why are we meeting here at a Catholic church? I don't really know why they put it in his line for him to say it was a Catholic church specifically. I guess to sort of, it's like Justin J said, like this show they talk about a lot of topics, and yes, this show is very great. This show is very good and entertaining, but they talk about a lot of topics. This is why you got to really pay attention to it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah. So they discuss the family album, the song, their father, and you know, they discuss just a lot of things. And he says that, you know, at first he says that he's gonna wait until Lucius passes away, then he will come out because he doesn't want to affect the IPO, which I don't get why that would affect it's stuff like that and other stuff that I just be like, why the hell would that have anything to do with the IPO? Like, unless it's something directly dealing with Lucius and his health, as quiet as it's kept, that should probably be the main concern, not you and your sexuality. I don't get why that would affect the IPO, but he was just like, it's the least I could do for him and not to affect the IPO, and I'm just like, okay, sure, whatever. Next we see Jamal and Hakeem recording the song while Cookie and Lucius are watching their two talented sons, and then they end up getting in a booth with them and they record it, and they record the hook and stuff, and it's a nice little family moment to see the four of them together, and just, it's a nice little family moment. And then while they're, having a laugh and talking and stuff, Andre, he's he's on the other end of the booth, and he's just looking at them, and you could just tell in his face and in his eyes, it's a lot of hate, a lot of like regret, and a lot of hate and resentment towards his own family, because Andre's character, he's not musically talented. However, a little side note, the guy who plays him, the actor, I was about to say singer, whoops, the actor who plays Andre, he can actually sing in real life. There was a clip going around on Instagram of him and the other two guys. They were, I think, this is when they did probably like the interview with Fox or whatever, Fox 29. They were at some news station doing like an interview, and it showed him. The clip showed the guy who plays Andre singing. I believe his name is Trey Byers. Yeah, I think that's the actor's name. It showed him singing, and he has a good voice. He has a really good voice. But I feel as though it was a right move not to make him also musically inclined or musically talented, because it's like, okay, you already got two sons, and then plus the father who are musical geniuses. He should be more of the businessman. You know what I'm saying? To make it a little diverse amongst the family, just to make it a little diverse, because you got like Lucius, Cookie, Jamal, and Hakeem all into music. Let's have him, not so much be the outsider or the outcast, but let's have him be, the more business oriented, more about the CEO and CFO and IPO and all this stuff. Let's make him more about that, which is a different take on things. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, then we see Lucius talking to, and then within seconds, hiring this guy named Ryan Morgan to film the Lion documentary as part of, the whole legacy thing, the legacy concept. And I forgot to mention earlier how while at Lucius's house, Cookie came up with the idea of doing the family album. And, they, throughout the episode, like at least through half of it, we see them, getting into doing it and stuff like that. So pretty much in comes Anika, and then, she don't pay no mind to Ryan. She don't really give a damn about him. Ryan, he leaves and gets ready to go start filming around the studio, around the building. And her and Lucius talk, and she just tells him that, she found out about the key man policy. She lets him know that if something happens to her father, she's taking everything down with him. And then she just lets him know that, yes, I did see you and Cookie, making love. And so it's like, let's push up the wedding to tomorrow or something. Yeah, I think she said, let's push it up this weekend. And then he was like, no, let's push it back to next week. And she's like, fine. And he was like, oh, yeah, she caught me at a moment of weakness and blah, blah, blah. Like, she caught me at a moment of weakness and yeah. It's like, come on now. She didn't catch you at no moment of weakness. You knew exactly what the hell you was doing. You knew what the hell you were doing. You and Cookie were gonna get back. You and Cookie were gonna get back together regardless. You knew exactly what the hell you were doing, Lucius. Don't do that. Don't you do that. Anyway, Andre and Vernon, we then see they're talking about getting Andre to become the temporary CEO of the board in case something were to happen to Lucius, where he will become incapacitated. And so now that they, know about his health and stuff like that, they are hoping that his ALS will get him to the point where he can't really do the things that the CEO has to do. Therefore, Andre steps in as the temporary CEO and later becomes the primary/permanent CEO. So we already know that they're conniving against him. Next we see, followed by that, we see Rhonda and Andre at their house, and they're talking about him getting the votes from these different board members. He pulls up this one board member, Janet Blake. I want to say, yes, Blake without the S. And how, aside from being with her husband, And besides her being married to her husband and being a former model, she has a thing for girls, especially blondes. Da 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 da. And at first you can see in Rhonda's face that she already knows Andre is trying to use her. You know, he's trying to use her in sex in order to get these votes for. In order to get these votes for to become the temporary CEO. And so, child, I'm looking at it right now, and it's showing the previews. Child, oh boy, this is crazy. Whew. I was looking at the previews, y'all. That shit is next week gonna be fucking crazy. I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. But anyway, they were talking, and so they came up with a plan to get these votes and go over and have dinner with the Blakes, which we will get to in a moment. Next, we see Hakeem, Cookie, Lucius, and Ryan. They are all in the studio. Ryan is filming while Hakeem is rapping his verse on the cover, the remake of Lucius's song "You're So Beautiful." And Cookie just tells Hakeem that he needs to pull back because he's really rapping over the beat, and he has to pull back because he's going in too hard. And it's like, you know, with music, it's like you have to, the lyrics and the melody have to like coexist. You can't let the beat cover you, and you can't cover the beat. They have to coexist smoothly. It has to be smooth, you know, smooth across the board. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, he gets upset at that. And then, you know, both his parents went off on his ass. And it was so funny because usually it's just Cookie going off on him. But now you got both your parents that teamed up on your ass, you know, like you know how kids catch a fit, and it's like both parents end up getting on your ass. Mind you, Ryan was filming the whole damn thing, and he was filming half of it, and Lucius was like, "No, cut this. We ain't finna conclude this part. This is personal matters." And then Ryan goes off and meets up with Jamal, which I'll get to in a second. And yeah, pretty much Lucius makes them talk to each other, and he's like, "Hakeem, tell your mama why you're so mad at her." And he's telling her how he's always felt abandoned, and how she always is, you know, storms into rooms without, you know, knocking, and how she's always bossy and all this other stuff. And, you know, then Cookie just, you know, she feels the type of way because he tells her that, "Oh yeah, you favor Jamal over me." And they talk, and then she talks to him, and she's like, "You know, I love all of y'all just the same. Like, I don't favor anybody over anybody. Like, you know, you were a baby when she was gone. Like, you don't understand. You were a baby when she was gone. So she went away, and then, you know, in order for y'all to have all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's like, anyway, she went away in order for y'all to have all this stuff. So come on now, really." Anyway, they make up, and, you know, they have a little family moment, and then they get back to recording the song and all that good stuff. And then probably, I don't know if this was on the same floor, but a few doors or whatever, a hallway, whatever, across the way, Jamal is filming a little part of his segment for the documentary, and him and Ryan are filming a little segment, they're filming a segment for a part of the documentary, and yeah, he does great. And they pretty much are wrapping up, you know, for the day or whatever. And pretty much this is the funny part, because I had said something when I saw this. So as Jamal had turned around, and he like sort of like leaned over, not bent over, but leaned over to pick up his stuff, you kind of saw Ryan staring at the back of him. But then you kind of, if you paid close attention, at least maybe this is just me, you saw Ryan's eyes go a little bit down. And I was just like, listen, Jamal, you might as well bend over, let a nigga see it. Like, for real, like, you might as well bend over, let a nigga see it. Like, shit, like, I'm sure you can feel them eyes on the back of you, like, bend over, let a nigga see it. Like that was just something so funny that had me dying, because it was just like, you know, you leaned over packing up your bag and stuff, and it's just like, you can feel those eyes, like, kind of traveling down your back, and I'm just like, you might as well bend over, let a nigga see it. Like you might as well, like, shit, go ahead, shake a tail feather, shit, shake it like a salt shaker, shit, to the windows, to the wall. But anyway, that was just so funny. I wanted to share that with y'all. I hope that makes somebody laugh out there. I swear, you might as well bend over, let a nigga see it. But anyway, so yeah, they end up talking, and they plan on, you know, having drinks on Saturday. And Jamal was telling Ryan to be careful about the way that he is because of Lucius. And then he just lets Jamal know that your father should be happy that I'm filming this thing because it is what it is, and he can kiss my ass if he don't like it. And Jamal was just like, ooh, okay, I will see you Saturday. Moving forward, then we see Cookie and Lucius in the studio. Cookie is working on mixing and mastering a song and just, arranging it and stuff like that. She's working on fixing it. And, Lucius is joking with her. And they, joking back and forth. And then he pretends that something's wrong with his hand. And then he grabs her and they're like on the keyboard on the soundboard. And they just, she had slapped him and let him know that was for leaving me in the wind for 17 years. And then they kissed and then, they made love. And I kid y'all not, was it me or did Cookie's ass, literally, did her ass turn the music back on? Because I don't think her hand turned the music back on. I feel like her behind, sitting on the soundboard, literally turned the damn music back on. I was like, God damn, like, Cookie, listen. You have a figure that is just like, God damn, the fact that literally your ass turned the music back on, like, God damn. Anyway, next we see Rhonda and Andre going over to the Blakes to have dinner with them. Rhonda finds out that, well, see, the plan is Rhonda is going to fraternize with the husband. Andre is going to get with Janet, and that's how they are going to try and secure Andre's vote from Janet when it comes to the whole CEO temporary situation. So, anyway, I feel like somebody's trying to come in. I'm just looking like, do y'all not see I'm recording? But anyway, damn. So yeah, Rhonda and Andre, they have dinner with the Blakes, and when she sees that Mr. Blake is handicapped and he's an older gentleman, she pretty much freaks out, and she's just like, she gets shots of scotch, whatever liquor, that brown liquor, and she just drinks and drinks and drinks, and the dinner turns into a total disaster. Now, put that on pause. Let's move over to this. Hakeem and Camilla at his place, they're listening to the new song. He says that at the white party, the all-white party, that they can go there together out in public and, just make it known that they're together. Because clearly, him and Tiana are over because she's with her girlfriend or whatever. So it is what it is. But anyway, she gets him this white jacket, and she tells him that he needs to start looking the part if he's going to be CEO, and try to like look more mature and more grown. And then he tells her he's gonna buy her this like nice white fur coat and all this other stuff. And then she tells him that he needs to go last on the song because save the best for last type of thing, that whole little power play manipulation type of thing. And then they go from there. Now, let's slide back, and pretty much, Andre and Rhonda, the dinner just goes completely south. She ends up, making a remark about, when Mr. Blake asks, have they seen the new Stephen Hawking movie, which I believe is the movie called The Theory of Everything. She was like, no, I don't like seeing movies about kids on the short bus. Basically, that whole thing, that comment kind of made the whole vibe in the room change. Then she ended up getting sick from drinking so much, and she threw up. Her and Andre were in the car. She just let him know, I'm tired of being your whore, and I'm tired of just using sex to get what you want and what we want, but whatever. I don't know, maybe it was probably the liquor that was still in her that was talking, and she just let him know, you need to be a man and, go out and do things on your own. I'm tired of, doing all this stuff, going out having sex with these men. And it was just like, God damn, like, y'all relationship is so, not so much, it's toxic, but it's just so fucked up. Like, it's toxic, but it's just so fucked up because they are just, I don't know, y'all. They are just something else. They are just fucked up. That's all I gotta say on that. Anyway, later we see Hakeem and Cookie walking into the building, and they talk about putting him on the last song. Cookie doesn't want to upset Jamal, and she just wants, everybody to be happy, so she promises him she would talk to Jamal about rearranging the song. And there's that, yes? Yeah.
What are you guys doing now?
I'm recording my video. I was afraid I was having a distraction. Thank you. I just don't want any distractions, that's all. What's this? What? No, what? No, because... Okay, Mom. I just don't want my distractions. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sorry it took so long. It's alright. I apologize for that. Let's see, where was I? So yeah, Cookie was just, she just wants everybody to be happy. You know, she doesn't want to upset anybody, because in this episode, and it's really good too, we finally get to see her and Hakeem, you know, it's like you see the wall that was up start to come down. And it's really good because, and this is why I kept saying in the last episode, the review, when Lucius had dropped the bomb on everybody, you know, about his ALS, I was wondering how was that going to change the family dynamic. And we see that in this episode going forward, that, you know, even though shit is still sort of wishy-washy, we see that, you know, even though things are wishy-washy, we see that Lucius, that the family is, you know, for the most part, there's a change. There's a change in the atmosphere, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn, I'm sorry. I just feel like something's on my nose. I feel like something, I don't know. I feel like something's on my face. I don't know, except for these. Ha ha ha. But anyway, moving forward. Next, we see Jamal and Ryan at some bar or whatever, having drinks, and they're talking. And Ryan just lets Jamal know that, you know, yes, I've been with women before. I've also been with men. But in the end, I knew that I was strictly attracted just to men. And that's that. And he was like, you know, my father is actually proud that I am who I am, and, you know, God made me this way, and, you know, I'm not going to change that for nobody. And, you know, Jamal was like, well, you know, I've tried to come out for months, and then it always falls through, you know. And then they did discuss the fact that Jamal has a daughter and stuff like that. And, you know, Ryan just lets him know he needs to embrace who he is, not for anybody else, just himself and his daughter. Like, embrace who you are. Stop trying to be something that you're not, because in the end it's going to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? So stop holding yourself in. Let your true self out. And, you know, then next we see Jamal and Lola at Lucius's house, and, you know, he's trying to play with her, and, you know, you can just tell she's not really interested, and she really misses her mom. Child, listen, Olivia, I'm gonna need your ass to drop whatever the hell you doing, and, you know, put in a 10-day pay loan, Western Union, whatever Krispy Kreme fundraisers you doing, you know, come back and, I don't know, do something, get your daughter. But anyway, you know, and he's just like, yeah, mom's gonna come back. Child, listen, it's just so weird, because usually it's the other way around. You know what I'm saying? Usually it's like, you know, mommy wins dad coming home, but now it's like dad wins mom coming home. It's just like, it's so weird to see that, you know, that change. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you know, he talks to her, and then he sings her a song. It's that, oh God, listen, people who watch The Jungle Book, because I think that's where the song came from. People who watch The Jungle Book, y'all gonna know what I'm talking about. But he sings her that song, and it was so funny because when she was singing a Weem Away part, it took me back to like The Simpsons when they were out somewhere, and Homer was singing a Weem Away, and the rest of the family just looked at him like, you know what? Everybody just looked at him like, really, at a time like this, it was some shit that was going on, and he just started singing it. He just started saying that one part, a whim away, and they just looked at him like, well, somebody seems a little happy. But anyway, he sings her a song, and they sing together, and it was such a little touch. It was such a touching moment, because, you know, hell, Jamal, you're gonna have to put the big boy pants on now. I mean, you're a father now, allegedly. Because here's my thing. We are still, listen, this is no offense to that beautiful little girl, chocolate little girl. But here's my thing. Okay, I know that, you know, with us African Americans, we can produce different shades of children. So there may be a possibility that, hell, she might be Jamal's after all, whatever the case is. My thing is this. This is the second episode where we see, this is the third episode where we see Lola, and yet nobody has offered to get a DNA test, because I would hate, and I'm telling you, and I shit y'all not, I would hate for them to find out that she is not his, and that Olivia just put her on the Lyon'S because of the dude that she's running away from. I would hate for that to be the case, because it's just like, well, god damn, you know what I'm saying? I would hate for that to be the case. I truly would hate for that to be the case. Anyway, I hope they really get that situation fixed. So next we see the whole board meeting for Andre to become the temporary CEO, and pretty much, you know, people cast their votes. Cookie votes for him, Vernon votes for him, the majority of the board votes against him, one guy votes for him, and then when it comes down to Lucius, he votes against him. And Andre is in shock because it's like, well, damn. But here's the thing, though. Y'all think Lucius is stupid. He knows that y'all are going behind his back. It's just like, you know, y'all trying to pay Peter to rob Paul, but shit, Paul already done robbed Peter, and he's just waiting for y'all to just go find out that he done robbed him before y'all, if that analogy makes sense to anybody. But anyway, keeps it moving. So then we jump straight to the all-white party. Everybody's there, all showing up. Listen, I guess everybody must have listened to Dej Loaf's Try Me song, and they was like, you know, let's wear that all-white when I'm feeling godly. Let somebody try me. I'ma get they whole mouth found, and I ain't playing with nobody. Anyway, forgot y'all was here. Anyway, I guess everybody had listened to that one line from Dej Loaf's song Try Me. I swear, Dej Loaf is such an interesting name. But anyway, and that song is pretty dope too. Anyway, so at the party, everybody arrives. We see Jamal and Cookie talking. They talk about the whole song thing, and of course Jamal ends up feeling some type of way because he was supposed to go last and not Hakeem, and then, you know, he finds out that Cookie and Lucius are still together, and he just lets her know she needs to be careful with that. And she's just like, you know what, I'm going to find some way to fix this. I'm going to find some way to quarterback this situation. I'm going to fix this. And then next they see Anika and Lucius walk in, and then, you know, they say, oh, be sure to stay after the party. We have a big announcement. And Lucius just, you know, Lucius and Anika and Cookie talking. She's just like, so what's the announcement? He just lets her know, I'm not leaving her for you, and we're going to get married next week, and that's the announcement. And she just like, you know, Cookie's pissed, and she just tells him, go to hell. You know, go to hell, it is what it is. But you can't be mad because Jamal did kind of warn you that he don't love nobody but himself in a sense. But, I don't know, it's, look, damn, Krispy Kreme fundraisers, foundation fundraisers. Anyway, next we see a band is playing some music. And then Cookie is walking around the party, you know, looking very nice in her outfit and her dress. She, you know, pulls Anika to the side. They talk, and she just lets her know that, you know, Anika lets her know that, oh yeah, I know that you and him had sex. I saw that y'all got back together. Y'all had that little reunion. And Cookie then lets her know, oh yeah, and we had another reunion in the studio. If he didn't tell you that. And Anika is pissed when Cookie walks off. She's just like, well, son of a bitch, he lied to me yet again. You should have known that walking into the situation. You should have known that walking into the door. But anyway, next we see Hakeem and Camilla walk in, and they're looking very sharp and very good. And then, you know, Cookie is at the bar. She turns around, and then she's like, wait a minute, what? And then she walks over and meets Camilla. They talk or whatever, and then an argument ensues. And, you know, Cookie's just like, oh, you need to stop dating boys who are half your age. And, you know, now I understand, you know, why you with her, because you have mommy issues, and you need to stop using him, you know, because he got mommy issues. And Camilla's like, oh, I'm not one of your little prison inmate buddies. And Cookie lets her know, look, you know what? If you would, you probably would have made a good bitch. And plus, you probably got a long tongue. And, you know, with that being said, I'm going to just say this. I don't think that when Cookie said that line that she was insinuating that she was gay. If anything, when Cookie was in jail, look, with the gay culture in prison, it's kind of like a survival technique. So it's like either do or die, fight or flight sort of thing. So if anything, I wouldn't be surprised if Cookie did have a prison bitch or two in order to survive. Because she was in there for 17 years, you know, hell, it's either, here's the thing, it's either play pussy and get fucked or, you know, fight or flight. And I'm just saying, because I don't think with that line, because most people think that, oh, Cookie is always bisexual or she swings both ways. I don't think that's the case. If she do, oh fucking well, shouts out to her. But I think she was just letting her know that if they were in prison, Camilla would be the bitch, and that she would, you know, use her to, you know, go downtown every goddamn night. And so they, you know, they part ways and stuff like that. And, you know, she just lets her know it is what it is, bitch, bye. And then, you know, Camilla's like, yeah, well, at least I got the junior, bitch. And I'm just like, you letting Hakeem, you fucking around and letting Camilla get to you. She gonna fuck around and fuck you up. She gonna have you looking whack out here in these streets. Anyway, then we see Vernon and Andre discussing what happened with the voting. Andre is just very upset. You can tell he did not take his meds. And then before that, you see Andre and Rhonda, and she looks at him and she's like, you know that if you drink while on your meds, that's gonna mess it up. And he looks at her, and I shit y'all not, he looks at her like, bitch, you lucky we are in public, because I will snap your neck right now. Like, you could tell, listen, bipolarism is something that you do not want to fuck with. And with the black community, with the fact, here's my thing. This is a side note. The black community, we are too prideful to the point where we don't actually go out and seek professional help. Psychiatrists, psychologists, you know, just the simplest things like talking about insurance with your children at a young age, setting up a college fund, you know, talking about sexuality, talking about all this stuff. We don't do that with our children at a young age, and then we wonder why kids are so fucked up out here. You know what? Let me not spiral off and go into a rant, because this is a review and there's a difference. But all I'm saying is, pay attention to this show. It is very entertaining, but there's a lot of underlining fucking messages that people need to listen to. I am sorry if, you know, listen, y'all know the filter comes off around here. Do not take it any type of way. It's just, you know, bipolarism is not something that you want to fucking play with. I have one friend who, I'm not even finna, fuck it, I already put her ass out there. Y'all don't know her name, but I got one friend who is bipolar. It is no joke dealing with her. It is, ooh, let me not go there. I love her to death. But it's sometimes fucking draining dealing with her. And sometimes I'll be wanting to go the fuck off on her, but I realize let me not, because it's a very sensitive situation that I will probably not really discuss again with you guys. It's no offense to y'all. It's just had to get that out there, you know, so y'all could understand where I'm coming from with why I say, you know, bipolarism and just mental illnesses in the black community is something that you do not fuck with and that we need to address and talk about, just like everything else. Homophobia, sexuality, insurance, fucking education, college funds, mental illness, spirituality. We need to talk about all that stuff in our community, and we need to stop being so goddamn prideful, because pride is either going to help you in life or it damn sure is going to hurt you, and you got the choice to pick if it's going to help you or if it's going to hurt you, and you damn well better pick wisely. Let me not again, who the fuck? Oh, shout out to you, girl. Anyway, let me not again go into a rant, because this is a review, and there's a difference between a rant and a review. Case closed. Let me keep it fucking moving. Whew. If only y'all knew. If only y'all knew, okay? That's all I'm saying. If only y'all knew. Whew. Anyway, keeps it moving forward. Yeah, so Cookie was talking to Jamal about the whole incident with her and Camille, and Jamal just tells her, go ahead and just forget about the album, because it kind of feels like it won't really happen anyways. And she's like, no, let me at least use your verse or some shit. And then, you know, Lucius walks in and she's just like, oh, now you want to talk about family? Go to hell, Lucius, bye. And then, you know, Lucius and Jamal are talking, and Lucius and Jamal just have a moment, and he lets him know, do this music for the sake of music. Don't do it for your mother. Don't do it for your brothers. Don't do it for anybody else. You know, do it for you and do it for the sake of music. And just, you know, let's put the past behind us. Let's, you know, put the bad blood behind us. It is what it is. And, you know, here's the crazy part. He basically told Jamal to tell his truth through music. You gave him, here's the thing, Lucius, you gave Jamal a ticket. You basically gave him a pass to do what he then did, and then because you said, oh, you should go ahead and perform a song for these people, show them what you got. And Jamal performed his own version of You're So Beautiful. Now, he performed it, and he, you know, he came out in the song when the line is, you know, a woman loves a man, but then Jamal rearranged it and said a man loves a man. And when he said that, Lucius had stopped his, you know, dancing, and he was just like the emotion from his face just left. And everybody And everybody else, you know, Cookie, Vernon, Andre, and Rhonda, everybody else just looked like, damn. So, you know, Lucius was the one who looked shocked and displeased, and everybody else was just like, yo. And then, you know, wow, when he had came out, the flashbacks of when he was a kid, and then when he got thrown in the trash for wearing the heels and the scarf, that had came back into play, and then, you know, went back to the performance, and everybody was just cheering for him except for Lucius, of course. And then, you know, it went off from there, and everybody was proud of him, but it was just like, and Andre was the one who said it, he was like, he just came out, and Rhonda was looking like, God damn, like, your brother got some balls on him. Like, look at her face was just like, God damn, like, shouts out to your brother, because he's the real MVP, God damn. So, then next we see Lucius walking into the office, into the building that following morning. All the TV news stations are talking about Jamal and his coming out from last night. And Lucius is still pissed, he's disappointed, he's angry, he's just distraught, he's all over the place. You know, can somebody pick up these damn pieces, please? Anyway, I'm sorry, it sounds like my voice is trying to leave me. Hold on, y'all, let me drink this. This has a label on it, and I'm not endorsed by this company, but I love their product, but I'm not about to get sued or get my well, not about to get a strike, so, but, you know, Ooh, nothing beats this naturalness. Shouts out to you. Anyway, yes, I did just talk to a bottle. But anyway, no alcohol. But anyway, next Vernon and Andre are in his office, and they're talking about the whole thing that happened last night, and just, you know, how it's crazy and how Jamal should have warned him that he was going to do that. And then, you know, Lucius just lets them know, what's funny is y'all thinking that I don't know what y'all doing behind my back. And he's like, you know what, Vernon, you really ain't been paying attention to a lot of things lately. You know what, excuse yourself, let me and Andre talk. And then we find out, because here's the thing, in the first episode, Cookie just let it be known that she don't really like Rhonda. You can tell Cookie is not down with the idea of interracial love, if that makes any sense. She's not really down with that idea. And then, you know, then we find out that even Lucius is not down with that idea either. And he just lets Andre know, the moment that I knew I couldn't trust you is when you married that white woman. And, you know, and then Andre was like, you know, well, I know why this family hates me, because I'm not talented, and because I wanted to go to school, and because I got educated, and because I got a degree, and he said, because I want to be accepted. Lucius lets him know they will never, and this spoke volumes. He let him know they ain't never going to accept your black ass. They will accept your money. They will accept the materialistic shit, but they will never accept you. And he was like, no matter how many white women that you sleep with or marry, they will never accept you. They just see you as like a sexual object, and they just see you for your money. They will never accept you. And this business is a family business, and I will give this business to somebody who I believe can run this business and will do it for the family, for the legacy, and not disgrace it like you did. And, you know, he was like, do you understand me and do you hear me? And Andre was like, I hear you loud and clear. With that being said, you know, we later see, before that, you know, Hakeem goes over to Jamal's apartment. They dap up, you know, put that bullshit behind him in the past, and he just lets him know he's proud of Jamal for doing what he did. You know, they have a little touching scene. Then we go back to the building in the studio. Jamal is playing some classical song, and at first I thought that he was going to try to sing along to the song, but he was looking so distraught and desperate, and just, that motherfucker was playing Russian roulette pretty much. He put the gun to his head. I kid y'all not, when he did that, I did this. Like, I shit you not, I leaned back in my bed, and because I was sitting up, and I had leaned back, and I was like, holy shit. And in my head, I was thinking that, okay, what if he did, you know, when he pulled the trigger, it went off and he killed himself, and Lucius and Cookie heard that shot in the building, and they ran to where they heard the shot from, they would have been falling the fuck out. Like, it's just the shit that was going on in my head is like, what if that gun do go off, and he, boom. I'm like, oh shit, you know. And then they got to call Hakeem and Jamal, and they end up crying and falling out like, oh my god, he killed her. It was just the possibilities in my head. I was like, what if that gun did go off, and he fucked around and just boom, like damn, like, you know, blood all on the wall, like that scene in Trapped in the Closet, you know, blood everywhere, something, something, something. I'm just like, God damn, like, Lee, you got a little too real. Calm the fuck down, you got a little too real. But you know, the gun, you know, it didn't go off because of course I believe he was playing Russian roulette, and you know, he just cries out in agony and in pain because it's funny how at first we thought that Jamal was the black sheep of the family, but no, it's really Andre. He's the black sheep of the family. Like, and the thing is, I would say the family loves him. It's just I don't know. It's like he pushed himself away from them, and then on top of that, with Rhonda, it's like she's really manipulating him behind the scenes. Because I would say that the family loves him, but it's just he doesn't reciprocate it. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't give them the love that he wants or that he seeks. But I believe they love him. But you know, now we know that Lucius can't trust him, and as I said before, his brothers. Well, see, then that's the thing. His brothers don't really rock with him because him and Hakeem don't really like each other. And, you know, I don't know what's him and Jamal's relationship. But, I don't know. But, you know, it is what it is. So, I don't even know. I mean, I guess they love him, but they have a funny way of showing it. I just don't know. But anyway, then we see Anika going to this hotel, and she goes to see Beretti. And let's be honest, y'all. We know that she ain't go there to discuss no business. She went there to fuck him. And we gonna know that. We gonna find that shit out in the next episode. You know, a whore is a whore. Listen, Anika's clit has left her motherfucking body. And on that note, we will keep it moving forward. Cookie and Lucius talk, and she tells him that, oh yeah, she tells him I ain't say nothing to that girl, because Anika didn't show up with Lucius to meet the wedding planner. And, you know, we know that she did say something to Anika, but, of course, she lies about it. And, you know, overall, they were just talking. And, you know, he says that he'll never leave her for Cookie. And she's just like, whatever, I don't even care no more. I'm focusing on my sons. You know, you may not love me, but I know I got my boys. And she showed him the iPad with, you know, Jamal on the front page of that article. And she just let him know that nobody cares. The world is still revolving. The birds are still chirping. The motherfucking crows are still cackling. Motherfucker, the sun is still coming out. The moon is still shining. Bitch, no one gives a fuck. No one cares. It is what it is. Nobody gives a damn. Your son came out. So fucking what? I mean, that's all in translation. She didn't say that, but it's just like in translation, nobody gives a damn. But he's like, you know, Lucius was like, but I do. I care. This legacy is tarnished. Like, just, you know, this ain't the legacy album, the family album is dead. Forget about it. Just it is what it is. They part ways. Cookie is in the office, and then she looks at the family picture from back when the boys were little and back when her and Lucius were together, and it sends her back to a flashback where she was in jail, in her jail cell, looking sad, distraught, stressed, pressed. She was just out of it, and she was singing the song, You're So Beautiful, and we end on that note. So I want to know you guys' thoughts, your comments. Please share this with your friends. Go and like my Facebook page, Prince Onyx. You know, if you have a Twitter, follow me on Twitter. If you got an Instagram, you know, follow me on Instagram. All my information is down in the description box below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as I enjoyed making it to you. And I actually did some good, because at first I thought I wasn't going to give a fuck when you know what, listen, behind the scenes shit happened. I'm not going to discuss it. Listen, all I know is that's that. On that note, you know, peace out. Hey, it is what it is. We got through this review. I know y'all been waiting for it. I was waiting to give it to y'all. This week, God. Whew. God. Nothing else. I got God and the other gods and goddesses. If nothing else, I got them. Ooh. Ooh. Just feel. But anyway, I will see you guys later. Peace out. Prince Onyx. See you guys. Bye.